Hello everybody, it's Scott here. Today we're going to be doing a review of Elite Dangerous. Woohoo! So, what is Elite Dangerous? Elite Dangerous was released in December 2014 by the games developer Frontier Development. The company has obviously had some other successes in the name of, say, Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, just to name a few. So why would I be interested in this game? Well, if you like space sim games or games like related to Star Wars or epic space battles, do you like Star Trek? Lots of time talking, many facets of the cosmos and trade? Well, you're always going to like this game. Added to the fact you're going to be able to buy 36 different ships ranging from tiny freight ships all the way up to massive combat. Endgame, you'll even be able to buy a fleet carrier, which really acts as your own personal space station. You can upgrade them all and outfit them too, having more combinations than a Swiss Army knife. Well, Elite Dangerous will definitely be for you. This begs the question then, what can you actually do in Elite Dangerous? When you start out, you're obviously given a nice little ship called a Sidewinder. It's obviously the basic ship, not that exciting, but allows you to get a good start off in the massive world of, the galaxy that is the Milky Way. If you're expecting some sort of campaign mode or storyline, well, that just isn't in Elite Dangerous at all. It's very much like Minecraft, you create your own story. So none of this is going to be story-driven, no hand-holding in the gameplay, but there are four main avenues you can play through. One being combat, trade, mining, and exploration. So let's get right into it and start off with combat. Assuming you've already got some weapons installed on your hardpoints on your ships, you can literally start off hunting pirates in certain red zones. These are usually located in ringed planets. You pop into them and you can just start scanning random ships. Sometimes they'll come as wanted, so you can start blasting them and make some nice space cheddar from them, and then you can also hand them into the local space station and make some money out of it. The other options will be to pick up missions from the stations themselves. Some will have assassination missions, massacre missions, bounty hunting missions, even do some more slight illegal activities. All in all, you can still make a lot of money from them and also get some rare materials. What is nice in 2022 as well is you can collect these missions and share them with your mates. You can obviously lighten the load and fight the good fight with your buddies. Obviously the combat itself is a lot of fun because of all the different weapons you can get, from standard lasers, multi-cannons, rail guns, missiles, mines. You can even deploy fighter jets or fighter ships, or you can get your AIs to fight on your behalf, or you can get your mate to pilot it for you as well. All in all, the combat aspect is a lot of fun. Even if you're a beginner, it's still a lot of fun because the enemies you tend to fight obviously relate to your skill level or your rank, combat rank. Also, I would suggest if you're a beginner not to go into the open mode because you'll most likely have to fight other players and they'll usually have their ships engineered to the teeth, and it won't be a very good fun time for you. Now, trade is quite a simple one, but it can be quite relaxing as well, especially if you want to take a break from all that pirate hunting. So the simple concept is you get a ship with lots of cargo space, buy a bunch of commodities from one station at a lower price, then transport it to another station and sell it for a higher price, making a nice tidy profit. Obviously, the only worry is it's getting interdicted by a pirate between the journey between the stations. So you get a nice little mini game to try and escape the interdiction and the pirate who is after all your booty. Issue with doing cargo runs is attempting to use the in-game trading information, which, to put it bluntly, is about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. It's completely, utterly useless. So what I tend to use when I'm doing some space trucking is this website called Inara. Also, I'll put the link below. Obviously, put in the commodity in there. It'll tell you the best places to buy, best places to sell, and how far away it is as well. It's always best to try and do it in one jump. But that's as simple as. And that's about it, really. Next on the list is mining. In the same way with space trucking, you will need some cargo space for your mining cheddar. You'll also need some mine lasers, a refinery, prospector collector limpets, which are like mini R2D2s, which are needed to work out what's in the asteroid to be able to collect, and also to collect the lumps of rock your mining lasers will pick up from the asteroid. As you might be thinking, there is quite a lot involved in doing mining already, and that's not including finding areas where they have the best commodities to be able to sell. At the moment, I believe the best commodities to mine are platinum, but this is just laser mining. There's also being able to blow the asteroids up to get the goodies inside. For me personally though, laser mining is more time efficient. Time is money after all. Once you've got your head around all the mining aspects and you've filled up your cargo hold with all your goodies, then it's a case of travelling to the station that is providing the best prices. Again, like trade, the system is terrible for finding the best prices. I would suggest using Inara again for the best prices, as the prices can vary massively. The final aspect of the gameplay in Elite Dangerous is exploration, which is quite a big part of the game, and you're probably wondering why. Well, The game has done a 1-to-1 scale representation of our wonderful galaxy, the Milky Way. So what does that mean to you, you might ask? Well, that means there are around 400 billion systems in the game. That's right, you heard me correctly, 400 billion, which means there are a lot of systems to explore. And even to this day, years after it's been released, most of Elite Dangerous hasn't yet been explored. That allows users to still be able to find systems that no one has ever been to before. I mean, I just started playing myself a few months ago, and I found these uncharted systems myself. When you get to one, you can activate your full spectrum system scanner and find what kind of exciting and unique planetary bodies there are. They're obviously ranging from gas giants with rings, Earth-like worlds, to black holes and many more. If you are the first to do this as well, and handing out cartography information at a station, you can make lots of money on it. Not as much as combat and mining, mind you, but more importantly, if you are the first person, you can have your name forever immortalized on those planets and systems. So whenever any other player visits that system, they'll see your name or your username or handle on there, which is always a really, really good feeling. And obviously it's a lot of fun to know that. You might come across some aliens as well, like some species called the Thargoid, or some Guardian sites. Obviously currently you're able to land on certain moons as well, which adds an extra level of exploration and fun to the game, as well as some kind of moon buggies as well. And for me, this is obviously one of the most important parts and aspects of the game. It's so much fun to be able to do this, to be able to go off and explore the whole galaxy, not just a few planets. So let's talk about the positive aspects of the game. Firstly, even though the game was released in 2014, graphically speaking, it still looks absolutely spectacular and beautiful. Obviously, you've got like all your stars and all your planets, and when you get very close to that, it really does feel like you're in space. I believe it even supports VR, which apparently immerses the player even more into the game. I've not yet tried this out, but when I do, I'll probably make a video about it for you guys. Obviously, there's a lot of range of things to do. I've just spent the last 4 or 5 minutes explaining all the things you can do. And obviously, you can get your money's worth out. I mean, obviously, it's been out quite a while, so it's quite cheap now. I always based it on how many hours have you spent in the game related to how much you paid for it. So say if it's like 1 hour for every pound you spend. If you spend 20 hours in the game, I think it's about 20 quid or 20 pounds, then that's a good deal. Also, Frontier, obviously the developer, appear to be running a good number of updates for the game, as well as global player events, which obviously allow you to feel more immersed and connected to the wider world and wider range of people. Also, a lot of the actual players are very, very hot on this game as well, and obviously you can talk to them a lot as well. The game itself feels very much more like a community than just, like, say, a single player game, even though that's what it's primarily meant for. Now, let's talk about the negative points about the game. Unfortunately, there are quite a few. There's constant connectivity required to play the game. Even when you want to try and connect to the solo play, it still requires a connection to the Elite Dangerous servers for you to be able to play. This is due to how the commodity prices and economy overall works, which is a little bit frustrating. So if the servers are down, you can't play the game. Next point, and I'm sure a lot of people who have played the game will completely understand, constant grinding. I mean, really, really bad grinding. I mean, as an example, there's an aspect of the game where you can locate these people called engineers. They upgrade your items or parts on your ship, but you need certain items for them to be able to unlock them. For example, one of the engineers, you need, I think it's something like 50 units of brandy, but they only sell them in one place at a certain station. Although you need 50 of them, they only sell 24. And you can't say buy 24 and then log out and then buy another 24. You have to deliver those 24 and then go back again and pick up another 24. And then so you only need, on the third trip, you only need 2 more. So you need to do 3 trips for something to unlock the engineer, as opposed to doing something a little bit deeper, nice little bit of story or something like that. It just seems very, very focused on the grind. And then after that, to upgrade your parts, you need to then get specific parts, which you can only find around different systems. For example, as people would know, Dav's Hope or Jameson's Crash. So the grind is real, annoyingly, on this game. Another point, there are very many different key bindings in the game. You have to be a mathematician or somebody like a physicist to remember all the key bindings. I know it's a bit of an exaggeration, but say, for example, if you want to land on a planet somewhere, best remember to actually put your landing struts down. What's your key binding for that? Oh, I don't know. Well, for me, I've obviously put L on the keyboard, but I also put not just the mouse and keyboard, but also the actual controller, because otherwise it would just be too much of a headache to play this game. In conclusion, Elite Dangerous is a beautiful game with so much to see. A whole galaxy of millions or billions or systems at your fingertips. Like many people have said from some of the forums I've come across, Elite is the equivalent of a mile wide but an inch deep. Sure, there's a lot of combat, which is fun, especially with upgrading your ship from shields, armor to weapons. Sure, you can do trade routes, mining, and to get some space shuttle and explore the cosmos. The way the game lacks any story in it is a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people, especially when it can demand a big chunk of your time and life. Running away to get that rank, to be able to get access to the Imperial Cutter as an example, or to get access to engineers that require all those different jumps, all those items. It's worse. Even if you want to upgrade your ship, you need all those extra items, which you have to spend hours. The game seems like it's intentionally penalises people who don't have that amount of time to invest in the game. It requires your utmost loyalty to it. That being said, and I said a lot of negatives about it, I still feel Elite Dangerous is a great game. You can still experience a lot of what I've mentioned, even in a small ship, you're in the Sidewinder, still fight pirates and explore the whole galaxy. I mean, I know I might be biased, and which reviewer isn't, but I've always loved space sim games. I still remember playing Freelancer, I wanted something more that could integrate multiplayer into these types of games, which I feel this does. If you enjoy space sim games and have a few hours to spare, and obviously 20 quid, I definitely recommend picking up Elite Dangerous on either Steam, the PS4 or Xbox. Anyway, bye bye.